All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Two Stone Dudes podcast. It's your co-host Ryan Castle, and we're going to talk a little wrestling. So we've all become fans. Rob, not by choice, has become a wrestling fan. You loved the show, didn't you?
Hey,
on Friday.
I was a big wrestler fan of stuff back in the day when I was growing up.
Okay.
And then to see you in the ring, even though you were getting pounced, you got your lickings in too, was fucking awesome. I wanted to jump in and throw a chair in there and see what happens. But no, I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Wrestling's is real, it's not fake.
Yeah.
I've seen his motherfucker's bruises.
Oh man,
good
I had I just want to give this report about my match at Sonora Championship Wrestling. We did 2 shows back to back, one here in Phoenix and another one in Pine Top. The average age of wrestlers in the locker room is 22. I am one of the oldest guys there. I am the oldest guy there.
Old fart.
No, I'm sorry. Ryan Morals, who is another wrestler. He's 48 years old, and he's only been doing it for like 5 years.
He's in there.
Yeah, and he fucking his work rate's better than mine. I can say that. He's getting booked and I'm not. So, well, I did get booked at HIW. I'm just going there for the practice. And then there's another company in Tucson that 2 of my buddies I used to wrestle with started, and they want me to come and work for them, and they'll actually pay me like a decent amount.
Nice.
And I told them about Rocky being my tag partner, and one guy's cool with it, and see what happens to the other guy. In fact, the guy's name is Ramrock, Rocky Stemets. He's a short, stocky dude. And when people see us in a locker room together, they kind of like they've said you guys look like a tag team. You know, just so you guys look.
Yeah, look intimidating, huh?
Not really. I'm not an intimidating person at all. I look like a fucking fat teddy bear.
Actually, look, you know when I saw you jump up on the ropes and shit, I'm gonna be fucking honest. I laughed inside a little bit.
Did you?
I was like, look at this little guy. I was like, look at him, pop up like a little squirrel and saw some nuts on a fucking tree.
Dude,
they were all taller than you and shit.
Well, I cannot tell you. I had to climb up the ropes twice.
I saw you.
I cannot tell you how tired I was.
Look at him going through there. I was
Dude,
like, oh.
I got blown up the first 2 minutes of the match.
Hit that motherfucker.
I got blown up sitting on the fucking ring. When I got into the ring, I got blown up.
Slam!
I was such a big ball of nerves.
Ryan, get up!
I wasn't breathing.
Yeah,
I wasn't breathing.
He took a minute.
Like, I was taking way too long to take between each breath because I was just so fucking like worried about what was going on next.
Me and his wife were like, get the fuck up, Ryan! Castellucci!
Yeah. Like I said, I wish I would have had a one-on-one match. I'm kind of glad I didn't because you got to do a lot of work in a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And when you're in like a 10-man, you don't really have to do shit unless you volunteer yourself to do it. Right. And I volunteered.
You did. You volunteered to get slammed.
Well, I volunteered because I wanted to be some kind of intricate part of that match because it's my first match back.
Good volunteering.
So, and that's
Castellucci.
The two good spots that went perfectly well were 2 spots that I was involved in, and even those were kind of shitty. So, like, I said, you weren't there, James, so you don't know about this.
Who's the guy you
elbowed? Big Country.
Okay, and the guy you forearmed with, like you just bum rushed him with your forearm and just like knocked him out of the ring on the side.
Oh, that's some new guy.
Oh, fuck that new guy.
He's called the $1 Million Millennial.
Oh, well, Millennial got to knock the fuck out, so I gotta say.
Yeah, well, what happened was...
Try again next year.
He didn't react to the first... I hit him so lightly that he didn't feel it, and he didn't react, so he didn't react.
Okay.
Well, it pissed me off because he no-sold me, and I fucking went and gave him a forearm. Yeah. I purposely walked around a guy that was on the fucking on the canvas and fucking elbowed the shit out of him. I remember when I fucking didn't go off the rope, I'm like, motherfucker! Mm-hmm. I said it loud enough for him to turn around.
I even yelled out like, no, sir! Try again.
Yeah, me and Big Country, like he gave me this. Okay, so the spot that went well was the bear hug spot where he's supposed to beat me up a little bit and throw me into the ropes, and then I jump up into the bear hug, and legitimately I almost went out because he just had me. He wasn't squeezing me. He just happened to have me right around the right areas that I couldn't breathe.
The right area.
And I was going out.
Mm-hmm.
So my comeback could have been a lot bigger, to where like I'm going out, my hand almost falls. The ref always checks you for 3 times for your hand to fall on the ground. Right. So right before the third one hits, I pull up and pull up and pull up and pull up, pull up, and then fight out of it, because you're supposed to get the crowd involved like that.
Yeah.
And I just skipped right over that because I was so beat the fuck up. I wanted to get that spot.
Skip pulling.
I was lazy. I'll admit I was lazy. Dude. Like I should. First of all, I should have been in way better shape. I should have started working out like 3 months ago.
Say a year ago.
3 months I can get in decent shape for a wrestling match.
Okay.
So it's just that's how long it'll take me to get my win
I'm
back.
just guessing by
Like
my
even
last thought.
I opened up my lungs this last week like really well because I was going to practice so much so like this last practice I was at was easier. It was still difficult, but it was way easier than it was the last time I was at practice.
Good.
I hope that's how it's going to be. Anyway, so I'm working for a company called Sonora Championship Wrestling. There are co-owners of it. One is a guy named Josh, and the guy's name is Jeremiah Garland. Jeremiah is a professional wrestler as well. I've known him since 2010. I got him booked at a company called FSW with me, where he had a really good match that night. I got him booked at EXW one show when he really, for some reason, he wasn't very welcome by the owners of the company, like Derek Nykirk and Gallo. Like, they don't like him at all. It took some convincing. I was like, look, I know I can have a good match with Jay. Please let this happen. He's a friend of mine. I know he'll do good. And they're like, all right. So we get on the show, and we had such good chemistry. Like, everything worked. We did everything we talked about. Nobody did anything extra. Nobody went into business for themselves. Everything just flowed evenly. In fact, that's one of the few people where I had a match that just flowed that well. You know what I mean? Like, everything just looked good. Nothing looked fake.
Right.
You know? Everything
And the
just
manager saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Everything looked really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I wish it'd be on the internet, because like it was one of the good matches I've actually had. I've had a lot of shitty matches, man. A lot of shitty matches. But the good ones you remember. And this was a good match.
You gotta remember a bad one at least.
Oh, dude, I can name like 10 of them off the top of my head. I say that the first time I got hit in the head with a chair, it hit me the wrong side of the chair and busted my head open.
Oh,
Hit
it's
me right in the
supposed to be
crown.
just the top back, right?
The part that you sit on is the part you're supposed to get hit with.
Yeah, the back part.
What
yeah.
he hit me with was this fucking back part right here,
God.
and it bent.
Ah.
It bent in on my head. That's how hard he fucking smacked me.
We'll take a hit, man.
I fell down. Like, I fell down because I got knocked down.
Yeah.
I've never been knocked down before. This guy knocked me the fuck down. And he wasn't a big guy. He just hit me in the head with a chair. And I knew immediately that I was fucked and I was going to have to get stitches by where he hit me.
Is there a proper way to get hit by a bar still in your
Yeah.
back? There
First
is?
off, you protect yourself.
Uh-huh.
You always put your hand up last
same-
second.
The back of your back.
No.
Okay.
There's nothing to protect you from that. It's the wrong side.
I'm just making sure.
Now, you can put both your arms up and prevent that shit.
Because they hurt.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to just taking a chair because it was the first time I was going to take one. And this kid couldn't do it right and
First
busted me
time.
open. So that was the first time I ever got busted open. The second time, I was too scared to cut myself, so I made my opponent cut me with a razor. I bled like a stuck pig, dude.
I wonder if a
I
suicidal
was gonna
person ever
ask.
thought that. You're like, let me ask someone else to do it for me.
I thought I would go too deep.
So
And I
you're
didn't
gonna
want-
trust somebody
Deep,
else.
baby, deep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
trust
because if he
myself
started
more.
because if he started going deep on me, I can measure that and pull back. You know what I mean? When you go deep in on yourself, it's kind of last second. You don't realize it's happening. You ever cut yourself with a razor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens like that. Well, imagine it happened on your forehead.
I'd rather not stub my toe.
Right. Right. Anyway, the next time I'm going to be wrestling is in the 13th, November 13th in HIW in Tucson, Arizona. All you have to do is look on their Facebook page and you'll find out where the address is. I don't have the address on my hand right now. And then Sonora Championship Wrestling will be running again December 11th. I think they're going to be back up in Pine Top. So that's all the future bookings I got for now. I'm trying to get booked in Texas with Rocky for my tag team partner. I'm trying to get booked anywhere with my tag team partner is Rocky. Because it's really hard to get booked when you're a 42-year-old man and you've been out of wrestling for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people know you're rusty. So,
It's like becoming an actor.
yeah. It's harder.
Unless you're Morgan Freeman.
It's harder. I think it's
Or
harder to
Betty
be an
White.
actor. Or I think it's harder to be a wrestler than it is an actor. Because with wrestling, you have to be an actor and you have to perform
That's
physically.
mentally acting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really throwing it out there.
Like, your mind is going the entire time you're in the wrestling match. There is no stopping. There's no
Right.
being lazy. It's you have to get to the next spot or it's going to look like shit. And you're going to get shit
So
from the
when
boss.
you're speaking to the director, like, do I think it's gonna hurt or do I not think it's gonna hurt?
What do you think? What are you talking about?
Just saying in general with just acting in general, like how would you think?
I
that
think
moment?
everything's going to hurt.
Yeah, quickly,
Yeah,
right?
I just automatically accept that everything that's going to happen to me is going to hurt.
Really?
Yeah, in case I get dinged for real.
And
I
the
have
thing
no
is,
surprises.
I can honestly say it's difficult not to clench your body when you have to let it go, right?
Yeah, you got to be loose with everything. Even when you take the
Because
back
when you
bump.
clench,
Gotta
that's
let it
whenever
loose.
your muscles are gonna.
Yeah,
tighten
you'll fuck muscles and tendons and
Yeah.
bones up.
So when it comes to wrestling, it's the same as having anal the first time, right? You gotta relax, don't clench,
It's kind of like
start
how,
smooth.
how drunk drivers oftentimes will survive.
Yeah, they
their
survive because they're
accidents
drunk.
Cause
because
yeah,
they're
they're
relaxed
relaxed.
and they're
Right.
drunk.
Right.
It's where the person you're running into will tense
Right.
up, and then that's whenever you're fucked.
Right.
That's right.
You know, some of
Designated donors, that's what they call motorcyclists.
the
Or happy donors.
some of
Yeah.
the most well-known guys on the independent scene smoke weed, and they take it in place of pain because they don't want to get hooked on pills.
I saw an accident today on the highway with a motorcyclist. He,
Oh,
he
shit.
didn't have a
Oh.
helmet on.
Oh no, he ate it.
But
Huh?
there was like 5 people who pulled over, to try to see if they could do anything about it, to
Right.
help. It was just sad.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
bet. Holy shit.
Was he?
Huh.
I was driving past. I got no time to fully look,
No.
I'm on the road too.
I remember
I
I
hate
watched a
those.
guy. I watched a guy have a seizure in a fucking wrestling locker room.
No,
I knew what was going on. Other people, everybody freaked the fuck out except for me because I knew exactly what was
I've
happening.
seen that before and pulled over and
Yeah.
helped.
That's freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's freaky.
Just never put your hand in their mouth.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't- I didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to be the one to break him. That if he actually got to the WWE, he'd get rejected because of his physical impairment.
Mm.
They just won't take you with.
He would have
Physical
to. He
problems
have to
like
go
that.
through a
No.
real.
This guy Willie Mack, who's a real talented guy. He's in Impact Wrestling. I've actually wrestled him a few times. He's fucking awesome and a weird human being. He is. He's weird and humble and
wrestling
kind.
weird.
Yeah, and he. I totally forgot what we were talking about. Fuck, but I brought him up for some reason. God damn it. What did I bring him up for?
Side effects of marijuana use.
Yeah. Anyway, Willie Mack is an example of somebody who couldn't get into WWE because he had physical problems. He had too much cholesterol, a high cholesterol, and they were worried that was going to fuck with him with his
He was high on
cardiovascular
corn
system.
syrup.
No, they didn't want anything happening to him, like him dropping dead of a heart attack or a stroke because he was in not in so good condition.
Right.
Like he's fat. He's not in the best shape. You can tell he doesn't go to the gym.
fat.
He's just naturally the size he is. He's not like muscle fat either.
He's a big guy.
Anyway, so that's my report and my ability to talk shit on people. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And we will see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen.